Welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some offerings that will be available for September's Polish Pickup Shop. It is Halloween month. Yeah! The theme this month is PPUWeen. Which is the most ridiculous thing to say out loud. And the shop is going to open on September 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll be open through September 8th. The wish listing feature on the Polish Pickup site always goes live the Sunday before the shop opens. This month, that is on August 31st. There's no set time for that, for when the preview will be available. It's just whenever they can get it up and running. Usually it's like in the afternoon for me, and I'm in the Eastern time zone. Some of the items we're gonna look at today do have a cap, which means they'll be available in limited quantities. So for example, if an item has a 500 bottle cap, that means the maker is gonna make 500 bottles, and once those first 500 bottles sell, the item will no longer be available anymore. So if anything that you see and love has a cap, you're gonna wanna make sure to get to the shop at 11 a.m. Eastern time on September 5th so you don't miss out. Yeah, and they're really good items too. You're probably gonna love these. So I'm gonna show you live swatches of all of the polishes that I got for this month's PPU in PR. And then we'll take a look at what they look like in some different lighting setups. Then at the end, I'll tell you my final thoughts and favorites. And before final thoughts and favorites, I will do a blind sniff of this month's KBShimmer Sugar Scrub too. All right, we have some awesome items to check out today, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. We're gonna take a look at these in rainbow order, beginning with this glorious orange from Painted Polish called Basic Witch. This one features black, gold, and silver flakies in a Sinopia orange jelly base. It's going to be $13 and will be capped at 400 bottles. So on application, you can see this one has a gorgeous, very satisfying, squishy, juicy jelly orange base. Those flakies disperse themselves beautifully on the nails. And I actually had this one pretty opaque in 2 coats. I couldn't see a whole lot of nail line, and I considered not adding a 3rd coat, but that 3rd coat did deepen up the base color considerably, and it also added more flakies. And who doesn't want more flakies? So here it's showing up super bright and pumpkiny. This is more color accurate. It's a deep, like more burnt orange color, which I think is just fabulous. It just adds to the vampiness and the Halloween-y aspect of this polish. Next up, we have Lizard Lips from Sassy Sauce Polish, and this one is described as being a mossy green base with a pink to copper to gold to green shimmer and blue-black multi-chrome flakes. This one's going to be $13.50, and it will be capped at 500 bottles. This one had a great formula, really easy application as well. Kind of a more sheer, squishy base, not super pigmented, that way you don't lose those flakes and that shimmer, but it built up beautifully in 3 coats. If I looked closely, I did have a little bit of visible nail line, longer nail lengths. It'll be more obvious for you, but I will say I tend to polish on the thinner coat side, so I think 3 regular coats would have given me full opacity at my nail length. So this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat and some sunlight. This one really surprised me because in the bottle it looks much deeper. On the nails it's giving more of like a chartreusey green kind of vibe. It's really interesting. So I did decide to layer it over a deeper, warm, olivey green cream in 1 coat, and I thought it looked gorgeous as a topper. And I love Sassy Sauce's polishes almost always have this kind of versatility where they layer very well because they build up. They're very buildable shades. And then here is what it looks like in some lower indirect lighting. This is inside near a window, and that really brings out that pink to copper to gold to green shimmer. Next up from Cadillacquer, we have Hell-A I think that's how you say it. And this one is described as being a green magnetic polish in a deep teal base with red to orange shimmer and bigger iridescent flakes. This one will be $14.50 and will be capped at 600 bottles. This one had a great formula. Again, kind of jelly, squishy on the base, so not to lose those gorgeous flakes. Built up really well in 2 coats for me, but I did want to add a 3rd coat to magnetize because I know with that darker jelly base, with the cat eye effect, it would have shown some visible nail line for me if I magnetized at 2 coats. So 3 coats, and this is what you get. I see a little bit of visible nail line here, but on my full hand swatches, I didn't notice that. So I don't know if my coats were a little bit thinner or if it's just my lighting, but wow. That teal base is so cool. It's like a blackened teal, which makes those fiery flakes pop so well. And then the green magnetic effect, just wow. So middle and ring finger are with a 30-pound horseshoe magnet to show the velvet effect. Pointer and pinky are with a cat eye magnet, and thumb is unmagnetized. You are doing this one a disservice if you unmagnetize it, but I did want to show you what it looked like. In my opinion, although I love the velvet effect, this one looks best with the cat eye magnet. You just get to see those gorgeous fiery flakies glow in that blackened teal base, and it's such a cool look. Oh, and the magnetic pigment in here was wildly reactive. It was just a joy to put on. From by Dany Vianna, we have Madame Leota's Crystal Ball. This one's described as being a very shiny silvery magnetic with indigo to violet shimmer and blue reflective glitters. This will be $14 and will be capped at 400 bottles. This one was more opaque than I expected on that first coat. It kind of had, when unmagnetized, a like frostier, icy kind of feel, and probably would reach full opacity for some in 2 coats if left unmagnetized. But again, I knew it had kind of a jelly-ish leaning base, wanted to make sure I didn't have any visible nail line, so I did go in for a 3rd. But I would definitely say this is one, if you use the velvet effect, you could leave it at 2, but for the cat eye, you'll want a 3rd coat. So this is 3 coats magnetized. Oh, that blue shimmer just made my jaw drop. So this is 3 coats of the glossy top coat, same as before. Pointer and pinky finger are with a bar magnet for the cat eye effect. Middle and ring finger are with a 30-pound horseshoe magnet for the velvet effect, and thumb is left unmagnetized. You can't go wrong with this one. I didn't prefer it unmagnetized. It kind of gives like a foily kind of look, but you don't get to enjoy that gorgeous blue shimmer. But I loved it with the velvet effect. I adored it with the cat eye effect with the bar magnet. Just, yeah, this one's fabulous, and I think it's kind of spooky and eerie for Halloween, but it could also be stunning for winter if you're a seasonal polish wearer. And next from Moonshine Mani, we have the Bone Carver. This one's described as being a ghostly blue glowing with aqua to sapphire to violet iridescent shimmer and filled with hollow flakes and purple metallic micro flakes. This one is going to be $13.50 and it will be capped at 600 bottles. This had a gorgeous, very layerable, buildable sheer jelly base. This would topper well over lighter colors, I think, because most of the glow from this polish is coming from that shimmer, and the hollow flakes add a nice twinkle. In 3 coats, I had full opacity. I thought I might not, but I did. Longer nail lengths, I could see you having a little bit of visible nail line with this one in 3 coats. So here's 3 coats with a glossy top coat and some sunlight. This is just such an interesting shade because sometimes the base looks more blue because of that shimmer, but other times it looks more of like a purpley gray. It's got that eerie, mysterious feeling, which I feel like kind of fits the inspiration for this one, the ACOTAR reference. And then here in lower lighting, you can see that blue shimmer just takes over. It feels very ghostly. I feel like we always have so many purples for Polish Pickup Halloween month, but actually this is the only one I have to swatch. It's this gorgeous Cuticula called Sugar Slasher, and it's described as having a violet jelly base with orange to gold shifting shimmer, orange to green to gold shifting crystal flakes, as well as black flakes. It's going to be $13.50, and there will be no cap. This formula was very consistent with what I've used from Cuticula in the past. That first coat is just kind of a base layer. It starts to build up really nicely on the second coat, and then the third coat gave me full opacity and a gorgeous development of color. Like that purple base is popping, and there are a lot of flakies packed in here. This one shocked me. This tone of purple is the exact tone of purple I do not usually love, but I adored this polish. I thought it was gorgeous. I actually ended up keeping it on for 24 hours and couldn't take my eyes off of it. The flakes just glow, and I love the black flakies in there. They provide some extra depth and dimension. You can see this one really like steals the show in lower lighting. I will say, oh my gosh, look at that. Sorry, distracted. I will say that after wearing this for about 24 hours, I noticed that the flakies started to have a little bit of texture. So I would recommend pairing this with a glitter smoother as well as a glossy top coat just to plump it out a little bit more. I actually have a second gorgeous purple shade to show you. I just got it today. It's Bluebird Lacquer Hitchhiker's Guide to the Ghoulaxy. This one I don't have an official description for, but it is like a mid-toned warm purple jelly base with really super shiny green to blue shifting shimmer, and it is packed with holographic flakes. This had a squishy jelly formula, but it is so packed with shimmer and holographic that it actually was pretty good coverage on the first coat and fully opaque for me in 2 coats. I did go in with a third coat just to see if that would deepen the base color. It did, and I felt like it intensified the shimmer as well, and you're gonna see when this is in natural lighting why you want that shimmer just to be as intense as possible. So this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Here in the sunlight, those hollow flakes just sparkle. They are the kind of hollow flakes that truly look holographic. They don't look like silvery flakes. They look like hollow flakes. And then here in lower lighting, you can see it's so shiny. Lovers of shiny things, you may want to make sure this polish is on your radar because the glow was so intense, especially in lower lighting, and I loved the color combination. And I have a new brand to welcome to the channel. Welcome all mixed up lacquers. This one is called Hopschotch, and it's described as being a jelly brown base with intense purple shimmer and multiple micro glitters in a variety of colors filled with neon, white, black, and iridescent glitters in different sizes and shapes. This will be $13.50, and it will be capped at 400 bottles. This one had a really nice squishy jelly base, and again, that first coat just kind of provided a foundation, and it started to build up really well on the second coat. Some people might be good with this in 2 coats, but I found that 3 coats gave me full opacity, and it gave me more of those super fun, brightly colored glitters. A really like funky mix in here. So this is 3 coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. There are some larger glitters in here, so I definitely recommend pairing this with a glitter smoother to plump it out. But yeah, this is a really unique combination here with that purple shimmer, the brown, kind of almost blackish, grayish base, and then all of those different glitters. I have nothing like this in my collection. And I'm welcoming back to the channel Colorista Carol. Welcome back. This month they're offering Pawssessed, which is described as being a black linear holographic with red shimmer and purple to green to gold shifting microflakes. This one's going to be $13.75, and there will not be a cap. This had a really opaque formula. You can see on the first coat, I got great coverage. Fully opaque for me in 2 coats, and I think most people will have full coverage in 2. The formula was slightly on the thicker side. I'm gonna probably add a little bit of thinner to my bottle, and I could see needing a 3rd coat once I do that. But my word, this is stunning. I love a black polish, especially around Halloween, and Colorista Carol makes some fabulous linear hollows. They are so good. So this is 2 coats with a glossy top coat. The holographic definitely steals the show, but look, you can see that shift in the micro flaky there, micro flaky, and it's just such a nice addition. It just really makes this polish stand out in my collection. Yeah, the hollow is wild. I'm so glad that I had some sunlight to show it off. And then here is what it looks like in some lower indirect lighting. This month from Tyler's Trinkets, we have Ghosts Need Candy 2. This one's described as having a white pearl base with holographic hex glitters in orange, lime green, and purple large particle aurora in fuchsia to pink to gold to green, and orange to gold to green shifts, as well as green glow-in-the-dark pigment. This polish has everything. It's going to be $13. It will be capped at 500 bottles. So this one had a really squishy, white, milky kind of base, but it built up really well for me in 3 coats. I had no visible nail line in 3 coats, and the shimmer is fun, but like those glitters, like, can we just take a minute to appreciate them? They're so funky. The purple and the green, like, I love the tones that were chosen, like that bright green and that lighter purple are just such a fun, playful take on Halloween. I love it. So here is 3 coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Although there aren't large glitters in here, and it's not like glitter packed, I do recommend a glitter smoother for this just to plump it out and remove any texture. Longer nail lengths, I could see you maybe having a little bit of visible nail line with this in 3 coats because of the light base color. I just wanted to note that. And then the like glitters glow in lower indirect lighting. This one was also highly reactive with the glow in the dark pigment. Just having it in the sun and taking it into like lower lighting here, I felt like I could already see it starting to glow in the dark. It glows very bright. Which you can see here. Such a fun, playful take for Halloween. And the final shade I have to share with you today comes from KBShimmer, and it is called Ghosted. This one's a white crowley nail polish with ethereal flakes that sometimes make the base take on a pale gray appearance. It's got lots of different flakies in there: silver, mint, aqua, pink, lavender, and blue. And I built it up to 3 coats to get full opacity, but the maker says you can leave it in 2 for a more like ghostly like appearance. So this one had a gorgeous milky white base. I do prefer like a milkier white base with my white polishes because I like that squishiness. I did have a little bit of patchiness, and I feel like it leveled itself out well. on the third coat. The formula is just slightly on the thick side, and so I think some glitter smoother, I think some restoration drops from KBShimmer would really make this like formula perfected for me. So this is 3 coats. I did add a glitter smoother. I recommend you do as well. Some of those flakies do dry down with quite a bit of texture. And this reminds me of one of the KBShimmer PBE shades. The purple with a fun like metallic flaky mix. Oh. I really like this finish from KBShimmer. I think it's gorgeous for Halloween. It feels very ghostly, but also this is going to stun in the winter time. And next we're going to take a look at KBShimmer's Sugar Scrub offering for this month. This month's Sugar Scrub is in the scent Apple Honey Cider. This almost 10-ounce jar of scrub will be available for $11, and they will be capped at 400 jars this month. If you haven't used KBShimmer scrubs before, they have become a staple for me. I use them every week, sometimes multiple times a week as part of my manicure routine. I also love incorporating them into my pedicure routine too. I find that it's a really effective product for sloughing off dry, dead skin. It's really great for like fall and winter cuticles, great for like dry heels. And it's definitely a scrub that's on the grittier side. Some scrubs that I've used smell great. But I feel like they just quickly dissolve into nothing. That is not this. It is effective. It is going to exfoliate. A little goes a long way. I've been asked before how long it takes me to go through a jar of scrub. Using it every week, I mean, they typically last me a couple months. But yeah, it's really effective, and it has nourishing ingredients in it that help like replenish the skin's moisture. It contains olive oil, castor seed oil, cocoa seed butter, and shea butter to help moisturize and nourish. And in addition to being a really effective product, I am a big fan of the scents. I feel like the maker, Christy, has a really good nose for fragrances, and she always does such a great job at making the scent smell exactly as described. This one is Apple Honey Cider, and y'all, I haven't smelled it yet. It is still in its protective seal, so it doesn't leak in transit. But without smelling it, I can already tell you, being the sucker for fall that I am, that I'm going to love the scent. I love apple. I love honey, especially in the fall. So I'm guessing this is gonna be a warm, cozy scent. There might be like a little bit of cinnamon in there. I wouldn't be surprised to smell some clove, maybe a little bit of vanilla for sweetness, but I'm hoping we get like some good tartness for that apple. All right, I'm gonna unwrap it and let you know my thoughts. Wow, that is a strong scent. Very spicy. Like, I was actually expecting this to be a little more like sweet, and it definitely leans more spicy. There are definitely like notes of clove and cinnamon in here, and I can smell the apple, but the spiciness of this scent is what I smell first. I like it, but it's a lot more complex and a lot less like feminine than I was expecting. Like growing up, my mom always had apple candles burning around the house, and so that's like where my love for that scent comes from. I was thinking this would smell like that, like fresh apple pie maybe, but Christy did a great job making it smell like cider with all of the spices in here. I will say it is a stronger scent. It's not soft or subtle, so if you're someone who likes more powerful, more intense scents and more spicy scents, then this will be something you enjoy. All right, let's look at the notes. So it says, sweet notes of honey and vanilla bean provide a rich base for the bright, crisp aroma of apples. Cinnamon stick and clove add just the right touch of spice. Okay, yeah, I did a good job. I will say, like, the cinnamon and clove, that's what I smell first. That's the more prevalent scent, I guess. And then the apple is what I smell next. And then there's just a little bit of sweetness in this with the honey and vanilla. So those are all the items that I have to share with you that will be available in September's Polish Pickup Shop. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Are you excited? And I had a hard time picking favorites, because if this one that I'm sharing with you as my favorite weren't available, I think it would have been probably a tie between like 3 or 4 really amazing polishes. But for me this month, there was one that just like stole the show. It is the Cadillacquer Hell-A. Hell-A? I'm not sure how to say it. I'll figure it out. But this incredible magnetic from Cadillacquer just blew me away. Like, I had to swatch it last. I had to wear it for 24 hours on my nails, and I was showing anybody who would listen the magnetic shift on this thing. It was just out of this world. Like, seeing it shift from that really dark base to that flash of bold green, revealing those gorgeous like autumnal flakies. Wow. Yeah, it's a gorgeous polish. But you'll have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What has you excited to shop? Whether I showed it to you in today's video or not, there's certainly a lot of items that I am eyeing and planning to purchase that will be available in this month's shop that I didn't get in PR. So yeah, let me know. We can talk about it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!